That's Governor Nyesom Wike, where he said His Excellency President Olusegun Obasanjo prostrated before Atiku Abubakar, his former vice president. And I want to say that it was not just a spurious claim, but I think it's taking the macabre dance too far, because that's something that never happened. At the time Atiku was vice president, Wike was a council chairman. He was not anywhere near national politics. So he cannot even understand it. We have videos by participants, the major actors, of what happened when President Obasanjo was seeking a second term. The major actors, we're talking of governors who were present at that time, leaders, who would tell you that, look, Atiku Abubakar knelt down to beg they here means the governors, that he could not and he will not betray his boss. So it is sad, it's unfortunate. And we'll expect that in a matter of days, in a matter of hours, Governor Wike should apologize to our revered leader, former President Olusegun Obasanjo. That's a father, that's a grandfather, it's a father of this nation, and a leader in Africa, a statesman par excellence. He should apologize to him. At no time did President Obasanjo prostrate before Vice President Atiku Abubakar. What Governor Wike said resembles what the candidate of the APC said in Ogun State some time ago, that the President Muhammadu Buhari, cried 3 times on national television. And at that point, he had to tell him to calm down. And he single-handed made him president. That is unbecoming of our leaders. How do you look at the president of my nation? You stand before cameramen, journalists, and tell the world that the president of my country cried on 3 occasions on national TV after losing election, and you want to seek that exalted office? And I'm sure maybe the recent fraternity between him and Governor Wike may have been what have precipitated Governor Wike to travel that route. But it's an unfortunate route. It's a path that shouldn't be treaded by those who believe that they have a future. You know, a roaring lion kills no game. And that is why, if you notice, between a lion and a lioness is calmer, but it's a better hunter than a lion. A lioness does not roar, but it hunts and kills games. But the lion roars everywhere, but most times it is the lioness that brings home the game. Do you understand me? You see, sometimes you have to tactically withdraw so that you can strategically advance. Atiku Abubakar is not just your regular politician. He's a father, he's a grandfather, he's experienced, he's versatile, he's cosmopolitan, he's pan-Nigerian. You know, he has seen all. And you don't expect him to begin to bandy words with people. Rather, he takes some of these things with philosophical calmness and goes ahead to do what he needs to do and what needs to be done. He keeps telling us, it's not about anybody. Power belongs to God Almighty. You understand? And no man can arrogate to himself the power of making anybody president. And the truth is this, he asked me one day, he said, look, if anybody boasts to say he will stop Atiku Abubakar, why can't the person, if the person has the capacity to stop Atiku Abubakar, why hasn't the person been able to make himself president? So the issue is beyond rhetorics. It's not someone who can be dragged into those level of rhetorics. He will not. No. When you talk of a larger chunk, the larger chunk Atiku Abubakar has is in his belief, his firm belief in the people of Nigeria. Because the election for the presidential election for 2023 is a referendum on the 7.5 years of the APC government in Nigeria, the maladministration of the APC government. So interestingly, the people of Nigeria will be able to separate, it's an opportunity for them to separate the wheat from the chaff. It's a decision between continuing in hunger, death, blood, are you with me? And getting a new vista of hope. They have seen a man, who is prepared to use our dynamic diversity as a unifying factor, in the leadership of this country. So it is a choice for the people. And I know that Atiku's cool mien is based on his confidence in the people of Nigeria to do the right thing. And particularly with the new reforms, electoral reforms by President Muhammadu Buhari. Because with beavers, no single person can sit down and beat his chest that, oh, I will sit down in government house and write list of voters and thumbprint and submit anything. No, it can't work. So with beavers, it is about the people. So you need to talk to the people. You need to talk to their leaders. Of course, their leaders need to speak with the people to convince them. So, but where you have leaders who have said, oh, no, we are not going to work with you and start calling you names, you talk to the people directly. And we are doing that. And that's why there is no presidential candidate in this election that has covered the kind of grounds Atiku has covered. If you place the noise you see on social media and even in the mainstream media, and you juxtapose it and place it on a scale of rectitude with what you see physically, where, I've never seen in my life since I was born, except during naming ceremonies and burials, where someone will lease a stadium and you put canopies at the center of the stadium to accommodate people. You don't need that. Do you understand me? Because the people are not there. This is not the stereotyped and conservative organic movements where you now say, okay, oh, we are going to do a 2 million man march and all that, and you dump people on the street. You have 2,000 people who use camera to do effects and all that, and say, oh, we had over 5 million people in our march. No. We're talking about the real supporters. Where are they? Their candidate, for instance, usually I don't like talking about Peter and his campaign because he's not just a friend, he's a brother. But interestingly, this period, I think I should, because he's even a better candidate compared to the APC candidate. You understand? He's miles ahead of him in terms of, after Atiku Abubakar, I have three choices, for instance. Number one is Atiku Abubakar. Number two is Atiku Abubakar. Number three is Atiku Abubakar.